Hello there, and thank you for joining me once again at my tying bench. In today's tutorial I'm going to tie you up quite a different pattern. It's new to me. Came across this pattern and it's a caterpillar fly. Never tied it before and never fished one, so I'm curious to see how it works when I give it a try, and I thought you folks might like to see it tied as well and possibly give it a try. It's not that hard of a tie, so we'll get this little guy out of the vise here, first hook in, and we'll get started. The hook I'm using is a Mustad 9672, and I'm using a size 8 this time around. So we'll get him locked in the vise here. Okay, and thread I'm using UTC 140 in white color this time around. So we'll just start right behind the eye a little ways and get a thread base going back like we always do here, and we'll come to just about the barb, snip off our tag end of thread. Alrighty, now a couple more wraps back, and I'm going to go forward just a hair to about the hook point. Now for the back on the caterpillar, it called for a foam backing, and the pattern I seen, it was quite a thicker foam than what I have, but it was about 4mm, so I have two. So what I did was just glue two pieces of 2mm foam together and in a yellow color, and I just trimmed a little point on the end there to help tie in. So we're going to tie that down here right above the hook point and make some nice secure wraps there and keep your foam right on top. We'll go back to about the barb there and secure that all down. Several nice snug wraps, cover that foam up. Alrighty. Okay, there's our foam tied in. Now, to get the segmentation on the caterpillar, you just use a piece of heavy black thread, is what they used, and I got some 210 denier black. So we'll tie that in next on the far side of the hook here. That's going to segment the caterpillar once we get him tied up here. So we'll just stick that in my material clip out of the way for now. Tie that back in front of the foam. Okay, next is for the legs. I'm using some brown saddle hackle, dry fly saddle hackle here. And you want the barbs to come to the point or a little bit past is okay. So I got one sized up here, so we'll tie him in on the other side. Okay. Get him locked in there. Alrighty. Okay, we'll come forward with that. Now, we're going to go up to where we started our thread there. Now the body, I'm using a black crystal chenille, and it's about a medium size. And you can use just plain chenille if you don't have any crystal chenille on hand. That would work too. I can't see why not. Okay, now we're going to tie this in on top. Work back to in front of the foam here. Okay, then wrap forward once again. Just like so. And stop our thread where we started there. Now before I wrap the crystal chenille here, I'm going to put a little bit of Zappa Gap on the shank of the hook, just for a little more durability. Okay, now I could use the rotary, but I'm just going to do this one by hand this time. We're going to start right in front of our foam here with the first wrap, and we'll proceed to work forward, going up the shank here. Okay, just like so, till we get to our tie-off point. Okay, and it looks like I cut just a long enough piece that time around, which is good, no waste. So we'll tie that off right here. A couple wraps behind it, and a couple in front, going back to lock it in place. Okay, then we'll trim that off. Alrighty. Okay, our next step is take our foam, the back of the caterpillar here, and just fold it across the top. Now hold down on top with my thumb and come around with the thread. That'll keep that on top. Make a few looser wraps first and make sure it's on top before I snug those down, then pull down. Okay, there we go. I'll make one more there just to be safe. Okay, there's what we have so far. Now, the thread that we tied in here at the back, we're going to bring that around and do the segmentation of the caterpillar. And just try to make even segments. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sure, every caterpillar is not perfectly formed, that's for sure. Now I'll just come around, make another wrap, then I'll make one more. Then I'll tie that off here, right behind the head of the hopper here, or sorry, not a hopper, caterpillar. And we'll come underneath like so. Finish tying that thread off with a couple wraps. And I'm just going to turn my vise so I can get at that to snip it off. Nice and close. Alrighty. Okay, next, what you do next is take your hackle that we tied in, and we're going to wrap that hackle over top of each thread wrap that we segmented the body with. We want our hackle to fall right in each one of those thread wraps. But before I do, for a little more extra durability, I'm going to take some more super glue here on my dubbing needle and a little drop on top of each thread wrap before I wrap the hackle. Just like so. Okay. So now we'll bring that hackle forward and we're going to drop each wrap in one of those thread wraps that segmented the body. Just like so. Next one. Then the last one here. Then what I'll do is grab my hackle pliers, first starters here before I lose that hackle. And on the last one I'm going to make a couple extra wraps of hackle. And then I'm going to come up underneath to wrap that off, tie it off rather, behind the eye. Just jump underneath the foam and secure that nice and tight. Now, just going to grab everything, the hackle tip and the foam, and I'm going to wrap back against the foam. That'll lock everything in there that we tied down. The hackle point, or the hackle tip rather, and the foam. And I'm going to snip that hackle tip out of there. Just like so. And I'm just pulling out a few trapped fibers there, folks. Alrighty, we're just about done here. We got a little bit more to do. And okay, now we're going to trim the head of the caterpillar. You can tell I haven't tied any of these before. I keep wanting to call it a grasshopper. Now one thing I should have done, which I made one little boo-boo there, before I wrapped the hackle I should have put my red dots on the foam, but we can still do that, it's no problem. So I'll start on my side, and what you do is put one single round dot in each segment, on the side of each segment. So we'll do my side first. Just a small little dot there. Okay, on the other side I'll turn the vise. Same deal. Alright, there you can see we have a small dot on each side. Then we're also going to go right on the top and do the same thing. One dot right in the center of each segment. Okay, there we have it. There's the top. And we got a dot on each side as well. Now the head of this caterpillar, the pattern, it was colored in all red, but before I do that, I want to round the head off a little bit, so I'm going to cut those sharp corners off the foam a bit there and just round it out a little bit. Make it more of a rounded shape. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I'm just going to color the whole head a reddish color here. We're going to color this all in red. The whole head of the caterpillar is going to be red here. So I'll just mark that in underneath as well. Alright, there we go. Now we're just about done, folks. One more step, it's just our whip finish. So I'm going to grab my whip finisher here. And we'll get a whip finish in there. 3 or 4 turns is plenty. Alright, snug that thread down nice and tight. Trim off the excess. And there we have it. Just got a couple more little trapped fibers that got wound in there on me. Just gonna loosen those up. There we go. Alrighty, well there we have it, folks, another size 8 caterpillar. I thought it was a very cool and interesting pattern to tie, and it's gonna be interesting to give it a try, see what happens. So one last step, I'll turn the hook upside down, put a little bit of glue on the thread wraps on the head there to secure everything good. Just a little drop here. There we go. Alrighty, done deal. Okay. So, once again, I want to thank everyone for watching my videos, and appreciate that a lot. I'll see if I can zoom in on this little guy for you here without the focus screwing up too bad. And I want to thank you all for watching once again. And I hope you give this guy a tie if you have the materials, and give him a try next time you're out. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. It's a very cool pattern. So, I want to wish you all happy tying out there, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you'd like to see more, don't hesitate to hit that good old subscribe button. Appreciate that a lot. So until next time, happy tying. I'll see you all again soon. And so long for now, folks.